my son put my the tag in the hat, so that's why I'm here. So I attended Catholic grade school during the 1970s for 8 years. How many Catholics in the house here? So it was a very strict school, built in the 1800s, 3 stories high, red brick, just to paint the picture, north of Detroit, in the suburb of Detroit. And for the most part, kids were good, but we got a lot of bad kids in the school too. The public schools seemed to not handle some of the kids, and they would get expelled, and then they would be brought into this school because the parents could pay the tuition and they couldn't get rid of them. So we had a beloved principal named Sister Audrey, who was great, and she decided to retire during at the end of my 6th grade, after teaching for some 30-some years. So my friend Leonard, my good friend Leonard and I, Leonard Gutman, Leonard, you're not here, are you? Leonard decided, well, he was red hair, kind of mature for his age, and a straight-A student, pretty much the teacher's pet, did everything right, goody two-shoes. He and I talked quite a bit and said, boy, who are they going to replace Sister Audrey with? Well, 7th grade came around, and again, imagine a playground with the girls all wearing plaid skirts, white blouses, and the boys wearing blue pants, blue shirts, and ties. And Leonard and I said, oh my gosh, who's it going to be? Well, out walks a nun, and a very strict nun, stricter than any of the nuns we'd ever had, called Sister Thomasina. And Sister Thomasina laid down several rules, and kind of crazy rules. She had rulers, and she demanded people got haircuts. The lunchroom, you couldn't go to recess until all of your food was hidden, or eaten rather. We said, that was a Freudian there. We used to hide our food in the milk cartons just so we could go out on the recess. So again, a 3-story building with wrought iron, big fire escapes and things like that. Really mean kids, like I said. And so Sister Thomasina was having a time disciplining some of these kids. And so she decided to instigate something, and she called it Kangaroo Court. And what this meant was anyone sent to the principal's office would then be sent to Kangaroo Court at 2 o'clock. Our classes went from 8 a.m. until 2:30, so it wasn't, you got a half an hour to think about it, but they were sent to Kangaroo Court, and there you were judged, but you would state what happened, and 6 students would decide your innocence or guilt, and you were usually guilty. Then the judge would decide your sentence, and your sentence was an amount of time. Well, the judge happened to be my good friend Leonard, and Leonard really liked this idea at first, and so he would say, you're sentenced to 5 minutes. Now, what did that mean? Everyone said, what is that? You're sentenced from a number of minutes from 1 to 10 minutes. So you would have to come back the next day into a different room at 2 o'clock, and you would sit there in a chair on a table. Your feet had to be flat on the ground, your hands flat on the table, and you would sit there and the clock would start. You would have to remain motionless for 5 minutes. Inadvertent, like sneezes, coughs were acceptable, but if you did this or something, you'd have to start over again. And your 5 minutes. Yes, the parents, I don't know how this was accepted, but this was Catholic school. In the 1970s, no hitting was involved, just remaining motionless. And if you've ever tried that, it's very difficult. So Leonard really enjoyed sentencing, these mean kids. But as the weeks went by, he started getting threats, and people did not enjoy this whole system. They said, this is crazy. But Sister Thomasina was new, and she was going to lay down the rules, and no one was going to defy her. Well, Leonard was starting to feel the pressure, and he confided me in quite a bit. He said, I don't know how to get out of this. I don't know what to do. And I said, just quit. So he went to Sister Thomasina. My mouth's getting dry here. And he said, I want to quit. Well, she wouldn't let him quit. She said, no, you're the best guy I've got. for this job. So the mean kids, I mean, he was getting literally death threats. They said, we're going to kill you after school. And Leonard didn't know what to do. So one day, we were all at recess, and on the third story on this fire escape, the door came, a metal door, imagine hitting a wrought iron metal bar, it just came clanging out. And Leonard appeared on this fire escape. And in his hand, near a fire escape, was a fire hose, which he had. And we said, look, it's Leonard. And he said, down with Kangaroo Court. And he turned the hose on and managed to hose the hundreds of kids. Beads of rain came down as we all waved our hands. And in that moment, we were all free. And the following day, Sister Thomasina announced on the PA, a very short announcement, Kangaroo Court has been terminated indefinitely, and every mean kid in the school respected Leonard from then on.